The reason I wanted to make The Greatest Game Ever Played into a movie, after I read the screenplay and got to know Mark Frost and got to know the story of Francis Ouimet, this immigrant son, and Harry Vardon, this great English champion who both came from modest circumstances, was that it just seemed like a story that everyone could relate to. Mark Frost did a great job writing this story. I'm here because of Mark.
I was thinking ahead to perhaps this becoming a movie someday. I felt it had all the elements that make film compelling.
I could kill the author.
When I heard that Bill had an interest in the script and wanted to meet with us about it, I thought he might be an interesting choice for this, that he had a real feel for Americana. He had a sense of how to tell a story visually. And when we met him, it turns out he brought a lot of passion and excitement about the game of golf to the project.
When I was 8 years old, my parents built kind of their dream house along the 11th fairway of Shady Oaks Country Club in Fort Worth, Texas. And this was Ben Hogan's home club. And on a couple occasions, I actually shagged balls for him. The Greatest Game Ever Played is my first really studio movie. And it was kind of an honor to get hired by Walt Disney Studios. But first, I had to get hired.
When he came in, he started talking about the golf sequences, and all of a sudden, my ears perked up. He said, "I'm not going to shoot golf like you see it on television."
I started working with Mark. We started collaborating. Our biggest challenge was, how do we visualize this movie? How do we make it jump off the page?
Bill gave me a script and I read it, and it was a golf movie, and I thought pastoral, like most golf movies I see. I said, Bill, it's okay. And then I found out very quickly that is not quite how he saw things.
Well, I had a lot of fun with Mick Reinman coming up with ways to visualize this stuff. We would sit around in my barn and we just wanted to kind of celebrate the game and celebrate it as a movie about the game too. I wanted the camera to move, to be a character in the film. In Shane Hurlbut, I found a cinematographer who could light this game up, an artist who shared my enthusiasm about what this movie could be, what it could look like. With the help of his camera operator, Roberto De Angelis, we formed a great alliance and had a heck of a lot of fun.
Nice.
Bill isn't shooting it like a beautiful film. He's shooting it more like a war film.
This is more like gunfighters. I was looking for an editor who could help me generate excitement in the game and the movie. I needed a disciple, someone who could share and fuel my passion. I hired Elliot Graham, a 28-year-old editor who had previously worked for Bryan Singer on the X-Men movies. Elliot turned out to be just what the doctor ordered. I wanted to make the story as visual as possible. I knew music was going to have to help me carry these different themes. I needed a composer who could nail it and deliver an emotional score. When Brian Tyler first played me the theme for The Greatest Game, I knew he was onto something big. What a great collaboration we had together. I am so proud of his work. It's just beautiful.
Writing down the notes and imagining, okay, what's this gonna sound like? You have a pretty good idea of what it'll sound like. But when you get up there and you actually conduct it, it kind of knocks you out. There's nothing like it. I mean, that downbeat with the baton, and it feels like, wow.
Okay, let me work on you a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's the director.
Without David Blocker, my producer, I couldn't have pulled this whole thing off. He physically produced every inch of this movie. He was the one who really made the budget and the schedule work. I speak for him in saying just how proud we both are to have had the chance to do this movie. It's a relaxing profession, directing. I find it very therapeutic. How long was that take?
That's 3 seconds too long.
Try to get it right this time.
Bill is insane about detail.
I got a lot of non-coms, people walking in non-period clothing. I need it real specific.
He doesn't want anything in there to be inconsistent with what you have seen in 1913. Every department has to be involved in learning that year. What did people look like, feel like, smell like, sound like that year?
A big part of the job in any film is the production designer. I was super fortunate in getting Francois Sagan for the job. His knowledge and artistry is what really helped me create a bygone era and bring it to life. With the assistance of an incredible art department, Francois pulled off the impossible.
It was a very hectic schedule for the art department. The first 3 weeks and a half were all sets, interior or street. You know, every day was a new one. Building this cottage. It was one of the shortest sets. 5 hours after the beginning of the shooting, we were demolishing it.
The next step, it collapses. You want it to collapse? It's fun doing period films. It's like making time kind of repeat itself again. The costumes have been just superb. Renee April is probably one of the best in the world. She's done a great job.
I had about 80 actors on the film, so I need about 300 costumes for them. Then the extra, I don't know, we went back and get more and get more and get more. I think we're up to about 1,300. It's a lot of management.
It's strange with period work that very often once you get into costume, half the job for an actor is done.
Of course, it definitely changes your posture, the way you want to speak, what you want to do, how you just carry yourself. It was such a different time, and you could see why they did all those things just based on the costuming alone.
What they actually wore for golf, this amazes me how they'd actually managed to play a full round.
Look at me, I've got a shirt underneath this. I've got this, I got the tie. I actually got off lucky. I have linen pants as opposed to wool. Most of the boys are in wool.
These guys actually must have been quite fit just to wear these clothes, because they're very heavy clothing.
People who tried out for the parts had to play a little bit. I want golfers to look at the movie and enjoy it also without saying, "Get out of here, he's not a golfer."
In the initial interview, I was so interested at that point. I was doing anything to get the role. So I just started saying, yeah, no, I'm a great golfer. I've been golfing for a while.
Oh yeah, I've got my golf clubs in the car. I play all the time. Never. Mark Frost goes out with Shia and he said, I'll play a round of golf with him and we'll make sure, comes back pale.
They were just looking at me going, no way, this is crazy.
We had him working every day with a golf instructor until he developed a really good swing.
He worked pretty hard on it. I was really looking in terms of, if I was an audience looking at this movie, would I believe that this swing could have won the US Open?
There's become a bit of a competition between all the golfers on this. We had a little tournament yesterday afternoon, me and Shia, because we haven't played each other yet. And he's been trash talking me all along, and I beat him by 3 shots and won bragging rights. I'm bragging now.
I'll give everyone a hell, so that's what I'm here for.
3 months of training, and then playing every day. I'm getting all right.
On camera, you're seeing a swing that's just a fluid movement into the camera. You're not always seeing where the golf ball is going. If he had to actually hit the golf shot perfectly every time, we'd have to take a lot of takes. It's good basic swings. That's what we were looking for, basically. Not so much the golf shot. We can always fix that with the cameras and CGI it in terms of special effects.
Dennis Berardi was hired out of Toronto to do the visual effects. Although the effect sequences had been storyboarded, I needed someone who could take them from the drawing board and put them on film. Dennis had to work tirelessly throughout the production and especially in post to finesse each shot.
There's those types of impossible to make golf shots where there's like a 35-foot putt over a gully and across a bend or whatever, and we could sit there literally all day and try and make that golf shot. Even the golf pros have been trying, they haven't been able to do that. So we'll do that with a digital ball, a CGI ball. And there's also the impossible to photograph golf shots. And this movie is really interesting in as much as Bill has always wanted to treat the film non-traditionally in terms of the typical sort of sports photography approach. Scene 207 was always sort of a pivotal moment for Bill. This is our moment for a big reveal. We wanted to really show that this was a big event of the day. We had about 300 or so extras available to us on the day. From our top crane position, we would photograph the 300 people in separate locations in basically a grid pattern. And in post-production, we will layer those tiles all together to make it look as if it was sort of 10,000 people photographed all at once.
some of these shots they got used. They're using this techno crane, and it's all over the place. And the golf, it's out of control. People are gonna look at golf in a whole different way after this film.
Like, what would an ant see during a putt? Or what does a golf ball see when it flies?
I've been making movies for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, to do the kind of shot that were required for the storyboard, this is the only piece of equipment in the world that could accommodate us.
We can have all the special effects in the world, as far as I'm concerned, and you have performances that are just fair from the actors, and to me, the movie all of a sudden sinks into a swamp.
And our lead characters, we want to be able to go inside them. We don't want to feel like they're acting for us. The protagonist has to be kind of an anchor for the audience. He has to take them on this journey into this movie, into this story.
We were very fortunate to get a young actor named Shia LaBeouf, who we felt was perfect for the role, and is somebody who I think is going to be one of the real emerging young actors from his generation.
Shia LaBeouf, the man everyone wants to kill.
Yeah, he's less an actor, more a force of nature, really. But no, he's a great lad, and he's fantastic in this film.
I'm so proud of his performance in this, and I know he's going to be proud of it, and I know the audiences are going to connect with it.
That's not a bad take at all, President.
For a one throw, no
Like that?
For Harry Vardon, we needed somebody who combined a kind of quiet charisma and some golf skill, because he's got to look like the best golfer in the world. It turned out Bill had worked with this wonderful English actor named Dillane last year in a movie, and by chance had played a round of golf with him and thought, oh my God, this guy can really swing a club.
Dillane. Whoa, where do you start with that guy?
We've coined a phrase around here is that the whole film is a visual effect, including Dillane. Just when he looks into the camera or looks down the fairway or something and we photograph it, he's so powerful with his performance.
Peyton List, gosh, we discovered Peyton from a soap, and she came in, and Mark and I were both smitten by her, and God, she comes off. She has a great regal presence in the movie.
Beautiful. Unbelievable to watch. She's an angelic presence. I have a crush on Peyton. It's embarrassing.
There was a huge search for Eddie. Josh Flitter, who was from New Jersey, ended up playing him. We tested him with Shia, and there was a great kind of Mutt and Jeff quality to the two of them.
Yeah, I remember when I first met with Jay, I said, wow, you're a youngster. You old enough to have hair on your chest yet? He goes, no, but you should see my back.
It's gold, baby. It's gold in the can.
I love that kid. I really love that kid. He's like my little brother.
I used to be an actor.
Ricky?
But not anymore. As the director, you end up, in a way, playing every part in your mind. You've played out these scenarios, these scenes. You've tried to figure out how, not only how you want to photograph them, but how you want to dramatize them.
Hit him with a hammer if he gets out of line.
Bill, again, he's a sort of subtle mix between the dude in The Big Lebowski and an English sergeant major.
The man's a monster. It's a baseball bat.
This way just a little bit.
Get into position. No, Bill's great. He's a hard worker.
You can probably hear him in the background barking out his orders and then going, man, that was great.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
The director liked that one, you can tell.
Oh, yeah, baby! Oh, yeah!
It's just Bill. He's an idealist. He's passionate about what he does.
You can always tell when you're working with a director whether he's done any acting or not, because he knows it's not easy.
Let him kind of take over on the affection.
He would throw gems at you, you know. Sometimes you can't be objective if you're in the line of fire, so to speak, on the day.
Whoa, yeah!
Thanks to you, Bill.
Don't tell anybody. You wouldn't have to pay me to make a movie like this.
This might be the best sports film ever made, and I truly believe that. And I think Paxton and everybody involved truly believes that. You know, it's rare when you're on a set when everybody's looking around going, we're working on something cool. And that's because of Paxton. He's got everybody believing.
This story is the original underdog story in American sports. And I was just inspired by it. And I knew there was a great movie here, and Mark Frost believed in it, and Walt Disney Studios believed in it. And I think that's what we've brought. We brought something that truly is a classical story that will speak to all ages, for all time. It's as relevant now as it ever was.